Hey guys, Fancy Security. We have a podcast format now. We're going to talk about guards fighting, leadership training, like with social media influencers, looking at reviews and videos from like Jocko Willing, gear review talk, right? Security guard news, like always. We're going to look at articles and conversations from Reddit security. We're going to do a 5-minute break where we just try to look for funny things online. Kind of balance out the seriousness of, the channel somewhat, or the video I'm recording. So if you like, press like. And I'm new at this, using StreamYard. And let's get started, guys. Let's see what we got today.
That's why I do this. That's why I do comedy now, because I can't have a job where I have to be in a cup. I wouldn't make it, man. The last one I had was security guard. Yeah, fuck that. And only because people are fucking rude to security guards, man. People need to stop being rude to security guards. Only because I remember when I was a security guard. Like one time I was working in the parking lot of this movie theater, and this lady runs up to me, right? She's pants. She's like, sir, somebody just broke into my car. I go, just now? She goes, yeah, just now. I go, okay. So I take my phone out, and I start dialing. And she goes, what are you doing? I go, I'm calling the cops. She goes, that's it? You're calling the cops? I could have done that. What does he even have you out here for? I had to go, miss, you see this thing hanging off the side of my belt? Okay, that's a flashlight. Listen, I have a flashlight and I make $8 an hour. Ouch. I'm not about to lead this crusade. I'm barely equipped to handle a power outage.
Hey guys, never ever underestimate the power of a flashlight. All right, guys, you can hit people with it. You can use it as a paperweight. When you got the fan on in your office. You can use it as an attention getter. You can do so much stuff with your flashlight. All right, guys. Next, we're gonna get into a little bit of a lawsuit. A story that went viral a couple of months ago. It's an old one, but I think it's important to show these from time to time when the actual guard gets sued and what happened, right? You gotta look into the escalation and how people escalate and how people remember things the way they want to remember things, right? This person's this guard, I think his name is Vera, I can't remember, but you're gonna see where he messed up. See right here. Am I doing this right? Okay. Yes.
I'm stealing.
You got items on you, and I need those items back.
He had guns on him. He had mace. He was calling me a thief and antagonizing me. It was terrifying.
I'm just gonna look. You go ahead. You open it up yourself.
I'm not clarifying anything for you.
Did you steal anything?
No. I don't even think I looked around.
This is Mika Prince, the woman who pressed record last Wednesday inside the Walgreens downtown on Pike.
He was approaching me, getting extremely close to me, uncomfortably close. He said he was going to put me in handcuffs.
Prince says this security guard, identified as Brian Vinegar, confronted and then cornered her just before 6 o'clock.
Call them, please.
I'm giving you every option.
Here, I'll sit down while you call them.
An official police report shows it was indeed Mika
Vinegar. All right. This guy's huge. It's like the difference between him and her. It's like between my taller and me, right? This guy, you don't need to escalate anything when you're that tall, just so you know. Escalation sometimes is needed. When is it needed? I don't know. Maybe like when you're outnumbered. That'll be something good to look up. And and really meditate on when do you need to escalate. I mean verbally, not physically, verbally. When do you need to escalate? Under what circumstances, right? But then you gotta think about what are the policies of the company I work with, and what does my client really want, and do I want a lawsuit? So you gotta be careful what you say out there too.
Mika, who called 911. Adamant with authorities, she didn't put anything in her pockets. She was just there to get her medication. Mika was rolling as SPD interviewed her, and in the process, captured a blatant lie on camera.
He said that he was going to put me in cuffs and take me down to the ground. I don't know who this man is.
Stop walking away.
Or what.
You're going to get detained. You're going to go to the ground.
And you're going to get sued.
Mika kept good on that promise, hiring attorney James Prescott. They're now taking legal action against Walgreens.
This is just bullying, plain and simple. It's also assault. And when we have large men basically playing cosplay military, intimidating young women, we've gone too far.
Okay, let's pause this for a second.
You know, I want to know, how is that assault? I thought, you know, assault meant you had to make contact with somebody. I didn't think that it meant that you had to like scare them verbally.
And break down what's on him. I see 2 magazines, a pistol, there's a taser, he's got cuffs as well, and not 1, but 2 body cameras. Is all that really necessary for working inside a Walgreens?
He's got a much more tactical appearance than he probably needs working in retail.
So you're saying it's a bit much for a Walgreens?
I would say yes.
Looking for an
Look at that red coat security guard trying to get his 15 minutes of fame. Come on, bro. Like, you know how it is. Like, you're oh man. You know, it was, you don't know what the guard has to wear unless you're there. You don't know under what circumstances they're wearing that specific gear. Sometimes a lot of people put things on their vest because they don't want to put it on their belt because of lower back problems, right? Before vests, you know, modern vests, you know, regular vests today, now they all have those, like, those little slings or whatever. They didn't used to all have that, right? And some of them, if you ever go shopping for bulletproof vests, they will look like standard police uniforms, like the covering on top or the garment, whatever you want to call it. And they have no place for you to put, you know, your gear on. But again, you take it off the waist, off the duty belt, so that you can protect your lower back. A big part of security and policing and freaking military soldiering, whatever it's called, right, is longevity. You gotta take care of your body. You gotta take care of your back. Once your back goes out on like your knees, man, forget about it.
Biased reaction to this viral video, we turn to Max Anderson, who spent the past 2 decades working in private security.
Looking at his uniform, you know, he's wearing a tactical vest. I've worn those at times when I've worked in like disaster response.
Max says what he witnessed was the opposite of de-escalation. He thinks guards like Vinegar give his profession a bad name.
It's bad for the industry as a whole, because it portrays the private security industry as like, you know, these aggressive, over-the-top wannabe cops that are abusing their power.
Let's be real. The security industry pumps out the type of guards they want to pump out. You want to pump out high quality employees, you're gonna have to give them more training. And let's be real again. This is one guy. This should not represent like all the security guards. It's like saying that one black guy or that one Hispanic or that one Asian, that one white guy represents all the people of that diaspora just because you had one bad experience with them. You know, it's just, come on, bro. Like, seriously.
Here's what you need to do.
I literally came in here for my prescription.
Here are your choices.
And you guys are accusing me of stealing.
We've reached out to Walgreens with several.
You know, another thing they was saying, he was like, yo, they're bringing on the tape. They told me, they're telling me, if that's a lie, then he's gonna have a serious problem. Now, whenever you say they told me or they showed me, you better have seen it. Like, I've done loss prevention. Unless you hear specifically somebody say that, you know, they recorded, they saw, you won't really step up like that unless you saw it yourself. And so what I'm trying to say is you got to really trust the team you're with. You got to really trust them. And whatever you say, you got to have pure conviction in it. Cannot be like sidetrack of it. If you said that I saw you, or if you said that they told me, you better make sure the person is willing to back that up with an affidavit, you know, a notarized with something, or they're at least willing to go to court if you got to go to court, and that's within the policies, because they won't carry any weight. You as a guard won't have no protection, so you got to be careful with that.
Questions, but all they give us in response via email is a single sentence acknowledging the incident and confirming they are investigating. I also contacted the security firm Vinegar was allegedly working under, and we're still waiting to hear back from them. Reporting in the.
All right, the next one we got is apparently from TYT. I have not seen TYT since I was like in college. They were really good back then. Maybe I changed, or maybe they changed, or maybe we both changed. I don't know. I'm more Republican now, or I'm a Republican. I'm registered as a Republican. And is after what happened in the state of New York, man, I just couldn't take the Dems anymore. But this is a follow-up. Again, this happened 3 months ago. This is a follow-up by them. Let's check it out.
Trusted with such authority and to hold a...
Let's rewind.
We have an extreme update to a story we brought you about a security guard who may not even be a security guard at Walgreens harassing a woman, according to her narrative. I'm going to remind you of the video and then give you the update. She has now filed suit. A lot more information is available. Here it is.
This or what?
You're going to get detained and you're going to go to the ground.
And you're gonna get sued.
And you're gonna get sued. That is exactly what has happened. Put up the picture for a mask.
Guys, one of the reasons I'm showing this part of the video is that as a security guard, you have to be careful on how you speak and how you enforce policies, because you can get civilly sued. That's a big part security doesn't understand. Like when I got my armed security training, the instructor told me about a case of a security guard who was armed and he was within his right to defend himself. And when the things hit the fan, he killed somebody, in self-defense. The security guard company, they just shut down. They just closed it up. It must have been a small security company, agency, whatever. And they just started maybe they freaked out. Maybe they didn't pay their insurance. I don't know. But based on what my instructors told me, they told me they just closed down the business. That's it. Gone. Finito. Shut it down. They left the security guard out to dry. I'm not sure what happened to that guard. Hopefully he's okay, but yeah, he said he had to pay out of pocket everything.
We have the update, Indisputable exclusive. Now, in this update, Indisputable was contacted by Miss Mika Prince, the victim of this incident, and her attorney to alert us that she has now filed lawsuit against Brian Vinegar, the Walgreens security guard, Walgreens Pharmacy, ASC Security, and alleges further that Ms. Prince, as a further direct result of the negligence of the defendants, has incurred and will in the future incur reasonable and necessary expenses for physicians and medications, as well as other care and treatment, all to her damage. Ms. Prince's attorney, James Prescott, spoke with us this week, supplying us with the recently filed lawsuit for our review. In an exclusive statement, Attorney Prescott told Indisputable, quote, on March 27, 2024, Brian Vinegar misused the limited power and authority granted to him as a security guard, leading to actions we contend include assault, battery, false imprisonment, and violations of the Washington state law against discrimination. Our lawsuit aims to investigate how he was entrusted with such authority.
They're wording this. It's like she wants to make money forever. And depending how big that company is, they'll be like, let's just shut it down and change our names.
Responsible for enabling his conduct. Ms. Prince also informed us that Vinegar's employer, ASC Security, addressed the incident on their site. Quote, in the 15,303 hours, our security officers worked at Walgreens on Pike Street. The incident of Wednesday, March 27th, is the first time our company has received a complaint of this nature from a store customer. Upon receiving the complaint, we placed our security officer on administrative leave and conducted an expedited investigation. Their statement continued. We talked with the customer, our security officer, and Walgreens management personnel, as well as reviewed the customer's video of the incident and the store's surveillance video. We determined our security officer's interaction with the customer did not meet our professional expectations. We terminated his employment with our company on Tuesday. All right. Attorney Prescott noted to us, you got to see this. This is foolish as hell. That Vinegar, the security guy, appears to be wearing a police department detective badge. Okay. When Attorney Prescott reached out to the local PD in Seagate, they confirmed Vinegar was not one of their officers and seemed really upset that he was wearing their department shield.
What?
Attorney Prescott stressed it is not currently clear why Vinegar was wearing the badge. The lawsuit summarizes defendant Brian Vinegar did not have an active security guard license. Did you hear that? He wasn't even not a certified security guard, did not have a license as contemplated by RCW chapter 18.170. Vinegar had multiple arms visible on his person, including a firearm, and instructed her to empty her pockets. Ms. Prince was not comfortable with the defendant's fixation on her pants pockets, but agreed to return to the second floor and speak with management about the reported shoplifting. We heard that in the video. Put up the picture full mass. So Walgreens Pharmacy only had a single public exit on the first floor, so the lawsuit states Vinegar did not need to pursue Ms. Prince to prevent her from leaving. This photo is an accurate visual representation of that exit. After agreeing to present herself to store management, Ms. Prince started toward the escalator.
Okay, Mr. Vinegar, if you ever get to see my content, I don't know what's going on. And this is the type of situation where you gotta be like, hey, I'm selling my taser, my firearm, my vest. I gotta make some money as soon as possible. This does not look good. This is more than I expected, guys, because what I'm trying to do is only see snippets of the video so you can get an actual reaction and good commentary. But this is wild. This is beyond what I expected. I thought, you know, at best, all right, he messed up. But on top of that, the license. On top of that, he was chasing her down. Like, it's just bad all over. This is bad customer service all over.
And Vinegar then closely followed her, calling her thief as they went upstairs and repeatedly instructed her to empty your pockets. Ms. Prince repeatedly attempted to move away from the defendant, but the defendant would close the gap, entering her.
Yo, in security, the less you say, it's like policing. Like, the less you say, the better it is sometimes. That's what I'm going to tell you guys. Like, say less, and do more. Because it will be held and used against you in the court of law.
Vinegar continued to pursue Ms. Prince throughout the second story.
Look, this is why a lot of these places, stores, they like, just close the door. Close the door. Don't touch them. Don't say these things. Don't say I'm going to do it. Because then it takes away the element of surprise. Then you're going to have a habit of saying, telling everybody, like, I'm going to tackle you. If you say that to me, okay, now you just give me the okay of, and you letting me know, okay, I'm gonna have to defend myself against this fool right now. And sometimes you're armed, sometimes you're not. Sometimes we'll both be armed. So you gotta be careful, man. This is a cluster, man. This is a shit sandwich and a half, bro.
Of the store. Ms. Prince repeatedly asked Vinegar to contact law enforcement or the store manager in order to end the confrontation. Ms. Prince repeatedly informed Vinegar that he was.
Hey, when you ask for the store manager in your security, that's like the equivalent of like when you're asking for the like a law enforcement on the street for their supervisor. That's the equivalent of that on some level. So I think he should have honored that. And if his radio was connected to Walgreens, to the staff there, he should have been like, come downstairs. Come handle this. This has gone beyond me. She doesn't want to willfully comply. There's moments where you should make contact. Most of the time you shouldn't as security.
Staff. So what do we have here? The woman, number one, was telling the truth. Number two, provided an exacting defense in the moment and requested both management and proper law enforcement personnel because this individual did not seem right to her. Also, ASC, to me, this is what we call negligent retention. If he does not have a proper security license, why is he still working as a security officer? Also, who is his supervisor? Because typically these organizations, these security agencies have supervisors that will float around to the various installations that they occupy. Somebody saw that he was wearing the detective badge. He's not a detective. Somebody saw he had multiple cameras on his vest. He doesn't have any of them in operation. Obviously, this was a violation of this woman's rights. Lawsuit is now going forward. All right, Mr. Mayor, thoughts here.
Why is there not criminal kidnapping charges?
Right.
I'm confused. This guy is pretending. You're not licensed by the state of Washington to be a security guard. That company can name all the hundreds of thousands of hours that they've been in place. How long has this man worked for you without license? Because all those hours need to be subtracted because you've jeopardized everybody or put everybody at risk that came in that store while he was on duty. This is absolutely disgusting. So this
kidnapping is a little much. Just because I know most states have a law where you can detain physically and close the doors, so shoplifters, right? You can do that because there's also emergency exits. That's the other thing, right? So kidnapping, he didn't move her. Again, guys, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm going based on what I remember from criminal justice. He didn't move her. He didn't block the exit. Based on what I saw, but it's Washington. I don't know. I don't know, but I find this fascinating.
Corporation can pretend that they didn't do anything wrong and they handled it swiftly. You did not handle it swiftly because if you would have had certified security officers, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
There you go.
I don't know, man. Swiftly, I think maybe they should put like a number on that. What swiftly is that, like a week? They did it within a week. They found out that he wasn't licensed or whatever. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I think it's a tricky situation. I think this is one of those things you want to have in your training as security. What we got over here? Oh, we got a gear review commentary. We're gonna talk about holsters now. I think it's important you guys know about holsters, even if you're unarmed security. Just because even if you're unarmed security, you gotta know about fire safety. You gotta know about first aid. You gotta know about firearms. You gotta know what holsters look like. What if you're fighting somebody that's trying to pull out something from a holster under a shirt? What if the security you're hanging out with has the wrong type of holster and they're falling asleep on the job? Somebody could take the gun from them. So many things. You got to know about this stuff even if you're not armed. We're going to talk about holsters right now. This comes from Classic Firearms. Let me sure I switch this over. It's a lot of different muscle memory right now. This is a lot of stuff to get used to, guys. You have no idea.
The level 1, level 2. What's a level 1 holster? A retention holster. What does that mean? It means it's retaining something. It means it's retaining just a pistol. And a lot of your concealed carry holsters are simply that. Now, let's go ahead and break it down real quick. What's a level 2 holster? Something like what you're seeing, right? Always carry with one in the chamber.
Look, when it comes to carrying one in the chamber, my first year of moving to Pennsylvania and having a firearm, I didn't carry one in the chamber, and I still had the safety on. Why? I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel I had the right hand-eye coordination. I didn't really feel I understood my fire cannon like I should have, But now I'm fine. Now I don't have to even have a safety on my firearm, and I'll carry one in the chamber. But in the beginning, you do what you think you're capable of doing, all right? And that is safe. Be careful about listening. Be careful who you listen to online. That includes me. I'm not perfect. Nobody is, except the Lord.
You're seeing right here, boom. This has this little hood that protects the firearm from falling out or from somebody else trying to get a hold of it without actuating a button or a device of somehow that allows it to then be released and freed. So on top of it already being a retention holster, now you have a secondary assist or speed lock or whatever it might be to retain the gun, but also to break it out of its lock. And this one is definitely in there. This is the Alpha Omega holster here that comes with the QLS lock for the SIG P220 VTAC.
How much the Alpha Omega holster costs? Let's check that out, baby. Come on, baby. Alpha Omega holster price. Alpha Omega holster, the level 2, $108.75. That is, I guess, with a discount. What store is this though? Let's see. This is, I just googled it right away, guys. Oh, don't give me that. Whatever. Let's show it right here. Ooh. Right there. Right there. You guys see that right there? That's the holster right here. It's $108.75. Is it worth it? I don't know. But I'll tell you this much, I won't spend that much on a holster. You gotta be careful how much you spend on your equipment, guys. That includes the firearm. Because if you were to use it, it's all going to become evidence. If you have a knife, make sure your knife is less than $20. If you have a flashlight, make sure it's less than $20, maybe $30, $35 max, right? Because you want that long life, that long battery life. Like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about gears for a moment, because this is the gear part of the show. Oh, what did I just do? I went to full screen on the wrong screen. All right. So, like, you got to come up with your own combative system. Look things up online, get some training, train yourself, look up techniques, whatever, equipment, which is the best equipment for you. Like, I'd rather invest more on ammunition for training and on a bulletproof vest. And I spent a lot on my vest. I threw almost 2 bands. Frast Safe Life Defense, weighs 33 pounds, comfortable, really comfortable. It's just like, just super comfortable, man. You could do the whole shift with it if you want. And why do I do that? Because the way I fight and what I've researched from having this channel the last 3 or 4 years is a lot of times security gets hit with an ambush. And when I was doing my armed security training here in Pennsylvania, gas stations were being, people were rolling up with AK-47s. And if you just have a standard 9mm vest that takes whatever jolts, whatever it does, I can't remember all that stuff, it's not going to be enough. So I'd rather have a strong passive turtle shell defense than to be super offensive, right? There's only so much of power you're going to get from a firearm regardless. Oh, you want more accuracy? Train. Oh, no, you want to get the dots. Dots going to run out of batteries. Like, just stick to the basic as armed security. Unless you have some kind of special detail, that's all I got for you guys right there with that. Let's see if he has anything else.
By the way, the setup I'm liking a lot. This holster is brand spanking new, so you'll notice that there's going to be a little bit of rub on the light and everything else. I do support firearms that have their lights on. Like, they have the little mini lights on it. I do. I would always want you to carry one of these so you have like a redundancy plan, like you have more than one flashlight on. Heck, have a small one on a keychain, have your duty flashlight, have one on your firearm, and that's it. If everything weighs too much, you gotta cut back too. So you gotta be careful how much you're carrying, man. You want to protect your back. Tightened down quite a bit because recently I was running a match, or not even a match, but running a course, the Battle Line Tactical course, and I didn't have a holster specifically for this pistol. I had it for my FNX 45 Tactical.
All right, I think that's enough about that. Cash Jordan, yes, he has some good videos out there, and I'm going to be highlighting them so you guys could be up to date on new ways to defend your cities. Because sometimes you're security inside a restaurant. Sometimes you're security inside a mall, inside a Walgreens, like this guy was, right? Sometimes you're doing community security, and you might face some of the problems New York is facing right now. So let's just get you guys a little up to date on what's going on in New York and their crime.
Outdoor diners, beware. This surveillance video shows what's starting to look like a pattern of armed robberies at outside restaurants. Police are trying to figure out whether the holdups are connected.
So a new disturbing trend in New York's ever-evolving sea of crime has emerged. And even though police have no leads since the crooks targeting these restaurants all escaped on mopeds, this is the type of crime that happens so quickly and is so easy to pull off that experts say it's only going to get worse.
The thieves are demanding watches, wallets, and cell phones.
The video we're talking about shows men moving around a dining table and scaring people.
Investigators say one of them had a gun, another had a knife. Police say they got away with $200 in cash from the register and 5 iPhones from customers.
Whoa. They're using crimes of opportunity where they're just basically grabbing purses or handbags off chairs and running out.
Surveillance video shows a man toting a gun. He's demanding customers here to hand over their watches and wallets. Detectives are now looking into whether or not the same men robbed customers at Carbone in Lower Manhattan.
Is there one thing in particular that you think is leading to this? Well, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of the laws that have been passed that have basically tied the hands of the police.
Officers are now required to record the race, age, and gender of anyone they approach.
It slows officers down from going to a scene immediately.
Overall robberies are up 5% citywide compared to the same time frame last June.
Guys, good Lord, man. I think if you're a security agency and you're not making money in the big cities, you're doing something wrong. It is the moments like these that security companies should be making a lot of money. But if you don't structure your company correctly, you're not gonna last very long.
If you go out to eat in this city, your waiter might be replaced with a robber. Now, the police say they're not sure if these incidents are related, but what nobody's talking about is that all of these incidents are related to the fact that this city does not punish crime. And here, if you steal under $1,000 worth of stuff from any store in town, you'll suffer no consequences because that's a misdemeanor, which has created a huge problem because for the last year, stores like Macy's have been getting robbed regularly, which is why everything inside is now chained to the store itself. And what this means is thieves need easier targets to steal from. And our money-hungry crooks, they're not looking at stores anymore. Oh no, now they're setting their sights upon the rest of us as we chow down on bagels in the middle of the West Village because our phones, wallets, and handbags make us walking dollar signs to these thieves who might even be lurking among us as if they're just regular people. Not just at restaurants, but also at the grocery store or even on the subway, which itself is no stranger to violence and crime and now looks more like a military occupation zone because of the high levels of police doing bag checks and the presence of the National Guard, which brings us to the real reason why we've now got a crime wave above ground.
It is terrible, man. The amount of money that New York spends on safety. Let's look that up. Let's just Google it, man. I can't. How much money NYC spends on NYPD? Let's see what I get. Let me share this right here. All right. So, you got the full thing. Let's see how I adjust the screen a little bit. Right, that's better. Carajo. Right. Excessive budget spending of NYC Police Department, NYPD, total of 10. Why you gotta put the 10.9? Just say it's 11 billion. Who you trying to play? You ain't gonna play me. You ain't play my viewers. What's going on here? Like 10 billion in the physical, 2023. That's a lot of money, guys. That's a lot of money. NYPD got the buildings, they got the training, they got the gear. They just don't got the support. Like it's a lot of money, and they cannot do anything with. They cannot help the community. That's crazy. Let's see. They have like a little breakdown right here. Let's see. This includes 5.3 billion NYPD operating budget, and then 5.7 billion in centrally allocated costs, such as fringe benefits, pension. Oh, so a lot of money goes on benefits. That's another thing, right? The city jobs, they have to have benefits. The city funds spending, including agency essential, is set at 10.4 billion in the physical 22. So it's just going up every year. Just going up every year. A spending increase of 465 million, which is a 4.7% against the physical. Wow. So crime is going up. They're spending more money on law enforcement. The results are going down. They're spending more money up. It kind of reminds me of the whole situation in California where they got the homeless and they spend like billions and you still got homeless people. That is a lot of wild stuff. All right, guys. I think that's it for now. Let me know what you think about the format so far. It's pretty tricky. I think I muted myself for a moment. And I couldn't really talk. I'm going to switch my water from salsa water because you get a little bit of gasoso with that and just go straight with water. But let me know what you guys think about that. Pretty much what I want to cover is, guard fights, guard stories, leadership training, gear talk reviews, security guard news, 5-minute breaks, and Reddit stuff. We just didn't do a Reddit stuff today, but at least we got it in today, right? This is the first one of the channel. Actually, I think this is like my 5th or 6th podcast. Like, with multiple segments, not just dedicated towards one thing. So that's it in that guys. Take care of yourself, love yourself. If you found value in this video, press like, leave a comment down below saying thank you and gracias. If you want me to react or comment on specific videos or articles or Reddit, whatever that has to do with security, leave it in the comment section. I'll look it up. All right. Ciao. Lo quiero mucho. Peace.